Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and today we're looking at two new watches. These are Bear Grylls Luminox watches. So they reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to check these out? And I actually said, rather than just send one of the two, can you send both so we can compare and contrast them? That's what we'll do in this video. We'll give you the details, talk through all the features and functions, and then I'm going to wear them out and about. We'll get some footage of that, and then I'll report it to you guys what I actually think about these watches, what I like, what I don't like, changes, pluses and minuses, overall our take on these watches. So let's start off with the details and we'll dig into that, and then we're gonna figure out the longer term use and if this fits into your systems. All right, with this first watch, which is the chronograph watch, you're gonna get the warranty card, you're gonna get the instructions, and then some Bear Grylls kind of marketing information, and then obviously the watch as well. Quick rundown on the paperwork. So here's your international warranty card, and you fill that out in the back. Like I said, here's your all your instructions. We'll go into that in a minute. These two pieces, like I said, are a bit more inspirational. This one talks about, if you look in the opening pages here, so positivity, resourcefulness, courage, determination, faith, and then gets into protection, rescue, water, food. Just some super basic information about survival. And then this over here is some more kind of inspirational material, and then also talks about using a watch to find, your general north direction. So that's pretty much it. Nothing too fancy here. A little bit about the technology, but you're going to find out more about the actual watches in the instruction manual right here. Let me give you some of the basics here. We've got the actual watch band, which is kind of a rubberized material, and then you have the watch, you have the compass down here. So within the watch, you can see obviously on the minute hand and the hour hand, you've got this kind of yellowish looking sections, maybe white. So that's the part that's illuminated at night. So regardless of what's going on, you'll be able to see what time it is at night. And I'll certainly roll in footage so you can see what it actually looks like at night when the lights are totally out. Let's talk about the compass real quick. That is north. This is definitely a good backup compass for just for when you're out and about. If I was doing orienteering, I had a map, all that stuff, I'd be, carrying a Suunto or something like that, a full-fledged compass as opposed to counting on this thing. But it does work. Like I said, that is the direction for north. You can see we've got the bezel that actually spins there. I'll flip it to the back real quick, and you can see it has the Luminox kind of logo there. So that's what it looks like when it's off the actual wristband. I thought there was a little tab inside there to actually kind of lock it into one of these, but basically what you can do is slide it up and down anywhere you want it on the watch. So that's that. Let me just take that out of the way. Show you the back here. You can see it says never give up, Bear Grylls, Luminox, water resistant, Carbonox case, sapphire crystal, gives the series number, and I think it'll tell you, down to 300 meters right there. So if you're diving down to 300 meters, you are a major stud. Couple things here about the actual watch. So again, you got the bezel that will actually spin. So you can see it says 350, so 360 is at the top. This will spin. There's various uses for that. Let me get it back up so it's set right. And then essentially what you got here is that you've got all these different chronographs built in there. So this is basically your start button and then your reset button. And there are some little tweaks in the general features to let you know about, but you can read those in the manual if you want to get into all the details. But essentially, when I start this, you're going to see the red second hand start spinning. So here's that. And it's starting to tick. It's not spinning, it's ticking around. Once that reaches once around, this is going to go tick up to 1 minute. And then after that, once you get 60 minutes, this is your hour. So on the bottom, you can count the number of hours. That is the number 2 because today is July 2nd. You can see north, south, east, west to help you with some orienteering. You've got all the little minute ticks. And then I believe all these 5-minute markers are illuminated as well, which you'll see when we actually run this thing at night. So we'll let this get all the way around. And then when it gets all the way to the top, you'll see that it'll tick over for 1 minute. And then I'll actually show you the reset process, which is relatively simple. You basically stop it with this and then reset it with that button. So 15 more seconds, and then we'll be able to show you what it looks like. So it's all functioning together. And essentially that's your chronograph. That's your timer for various uses when you're out and about in the field. So watch this. This will tick over here. So that's over to 1 now. I want to stop it. I hit this. Reset is this. You'll see it spin all the way around back to the top, resets everything. Now we're rocking and rolling. This over here is your second hand for your normal time, right? So it's about to change. Now that it's back to 60, it's gone over to the next minute. When it goes around again, obviously that'll go to the next minute. So 3:01 right now. So that's a quick rundown on the watch there. Here's a quick look at it actually on my wrist. So there's the actual watch, compass down there. I can tell you, because this is rubberized, once you get that thing on, I mean, it's not slipping around or spinning around. That thing's gonna lock in place. Yeah, so that's what it looks like on my wrist. All right, here's a look at the other watch. This is the non-chronograph watch, much more simple. Same information, so these kind of marketing things, and then your warranty card here. No instructions with the watch because it's super basic. Basically, you're gonna untwist this till it pops out, pull it out once to adjust the date, pull it out twice to adjust the hour and the minute hand, and then there you go. So obviously you can see bright orange for the wristband. We do have the Luminox on the minute hand and then also the hour hand as well. You can see the second hand's got that little kind of cutout there or section there that also has the Luminox built in, so you can always see what the time is. Very simple. So if I want to adjust the date, pull it out once, and I can spin it as much as I want till I get to the right date. And then if I want to adjust the hour and second hand, or hour and minute hand, sorry, you're gonna spin it like this or adjust it like this, right? And then lock it in and good to go. Here's what it looks like on my wrist. Again, the wristband, because of this like rubberized texture, the thing really locks in nicely. So once you get it on, it's not moving anywhere, it's not going anywhere. So that's what it looks like. Again, you can adjust the bezel and line this back up at the top. Did I do that? No, one more. So that's what that looks like. Hey guys, I was just wearing this watch, which is the orange one, and I found this extra little box they sent to me. I thought it was some extra batteries, but let me readjust the camera and actually show you what it is. So obviously here's the watch, and then you've got this little thing. Like I said, I thought it was batteries, but then I saw this little symbol, and then it says never give up there. I checked it out, and it's actually something you put on the wristband. So you can put it here, you can put it over here, you could swing it around to a lower section, but you pull on this, see if I can do it with one hand here. This comes out, press this end button, and you've got a little flashlight built into the watch. So kind of feels a little bit, you know, Batman-esque with your like utility belt, but it's your utility watch. But another little feature there. And you can get the watch, obviously you can get the other watch, and then you can buy this separately if you want to just attach it to maybe one of the current watches that you have. Alright guys, what I want to do now is roll in some footage so you can see me actually wearing these out and about. It's not super exciting, but just to show you that I didn't get the two watches, wear them for 10 minutes and then go like, oh yeah, I've tested these. My overall thoughts. First off, between the two watches, I do like this one a little bit better than this one. Not a huge difference as far as, you know, it's just a preference thing. I do like that this is bright orange. And I will say that as soon as my buddy saw this thing, he was like, what the heck is that? And I was like, yo dude, it's a flashlight, check it out. He was like, okay, that's pretty slick. So yeah, it is kind of a cool thing that you got a flashlight built into your watch. So yeah, I mean, functionally they do the job. This one doesn't have your chronograph option as far as timing, you know, with the actual built-in timer, as opposed to just like looking at your second hand. They both work well. They're both, you know, waterproof. I'm not diving down to X number of meters. I just need them to be basically able to be worn out in the rain, and if I like, you know, reach into a stream to grab something, that they won't get ruined. The little flashlight here is It's like IPX, I'll have to double check, like 7 or 6 rated maybe. Anyhow, it's not waterproof. You can't like dunk it underwater to 2 meters. I wish that was the case, but it is what it is. Better to have a flashlight than have nothing. I will tell you that you can buy this piece separately for 35 bucks if you want to add that to another watch. I mentioned that earlier, but just to kind of remind you. Now, of the two watches, I actually prefer this one. I just like the look of this one a little bit better than this one. But let me just give you my take overall. I'm a flashlight guy. I like pocket knives. I like choppers, like big survival choppers and stuff. I'm generally not a watch guy. I'm not opposed to watches, but I'm not the expert there. So, for me, it's all about functionality as opposed to, something I'm going to be jumping out of an airplane. It's got to be, impact resistant to X number of meters, whatever it is. I just need a basic watch that's going to be able to give me a timer option, and then also, tell time. So just to let you know, price point, these guys are not cheap. Obviously, Luminox has a good reputation, but they make a product that's not super cheap. This one's going to run you $495. This one's going to run you $975. So obviously, these are like lifelong investments that you're making if you get a watch. I'd love to hear in the comment section from you guys, if you're a watch guy, if you're a watch lady, what's the deal with watches? Like, why so expensive? What am I paying for? What are you paying for? What are the special features you're looking for? I just love to learn more. I've done my research about watches and stuff, but yeah, I just want to learn more about the overall functionality and why people invest, tons of money in multiple different watches, things like that. These have done the job for me. Again, stylistically, I like this one a little bit better than this one. I probably wouldn't keep this on long term. It's just kind of, it's weird. It doesn't get in the way. It doesn't bump into your wrist. Like when you're wearing it, it doesn't bump it back into your wrist when you go like this. But it just does look a little clunky. Unless I had another thing here and it was like, okay, clearly this is like a survival watch. But again, here we're looking at about $500 and $975. So big money to invest in a watch. Make sure you do your research first to, figure out exactly what you're looking for. Certainly Luminox is a well-known brand that does a great job with their products. So that's you're investing the money up front to have the long-term support of a good company. Now I wanted to wait to the end here to have a little more discussion and kind of philosophical thinking about the whole Bear Grylls thing. So Bear Grylls, some people are like, yes, I love Bear Grylls. Other people are like, no, I'm not into Bear Grylls. If you dig into what Bear Grylls has accomplished in his life, it is phenomenal. I mean, he's done amazing, amazing things. Now, there was that stretch when he was doing Man vs. Wild back in the day, and people were like, oh, he's not really surviving overnight. He's, going to a hotel at night. And then there became this discussion of like, well, do we really think he's surviving, or is he teaching skills and how to, certain things in the wild? But it's not about like him literally staying out for 5 days or 10 days in the woods. It's about him showing the skills. So that was a whole debate and discussion, but nonetheless, this guy has accomplished a ton. He continues to be a well-known person who is, I mean, if you ever watched anything from him, he's like super encouraging, just like a super go-getter. This guy's hardcore. He knows his stuff. I wouldn't necessarily call him a survival instructor like you have other people out there who are professional survival instructor, but he is like an adventurer, and part of that is survival skills and things like that. So the fact that Luminox basically decided to pair up with Bear Grylls says something about how they're trying to get these watches and their products out to the public, because they know he's a big name, has a lot of followers and a lot of influence. Now I will mention to you, these are two of the watches. There are some other color options too, like orange, but they've got like I think a timer in one. There's one that's got like a mix of blue and red as well. So yeah, there's a couple different options out there, or a bunch of different options out there. If you want to dig into watches and get a different one from Luminox and the Bear Grylls combination, you can certainly do that. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of my quick, my thoughts on it. The watches have worked well. Let me hear your thoughts. I'd love to learn. And so teach me about watches. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you know about these watches, other watches, Luminox watches in general, investing in watches, things like that. I'd love to hear more from you guys in the comment section. So let me be a student and glean some information from you guys. And let's hear your thoughts on these two watches from Bear Grylls and Luminox. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.